San Isidro woke to the usual golden sunrise, but the peaceful village seemed uneasy, as if it sensed the coming storm. Ethan and Grace moved through the bakery, laughter echoing softly between the walls, but each smile masked the tension growing outside. That afternoon, Ethan's phone buzzed endlessly. Notifications screamed. Bank alerts, email locks, frozen accounts, all cold global accounts under his name had been blocked. His heart pounded. Almost immediately, the phone rang. Ethan, Madeline's voice came cold and deliberate. I warned you. This is your final chance. If you continue this farce with Grace Hollis, every privilege, every asset, every opportunity you have will vanish. Isabella will take her rightful place. Obey me or face the consequences. Ethan gritted his teeth. Mother, I choose Grace. Nothing you do will change that. Her laugh was soft, almost amused. You think love can save you? Love won't protect you from what I can control. Try to resist, and you will regret it. She hung up, leaving a silence heavy with threat. Ethan's hands shook, but he forced himself to breathe. He grabbed his jacket. I need to check on Grace, he muttered, but before he could leave, he noticed movement outside, a shadow lingering near the bakery. His pulse quickened. Later, as Grace walked home through narrow, dimly lit streets, Isabella appeared. Her composure was unnerving, her smile razor-sharp. Grace Hollis, she said sweetly but venomously. Do you really think you can keep Ethan? You've wasted his time. All of this your bakery, your little life is nothing compared to what I can offer him. Grace squared her shoulders. Ethan chose me. Nothing you say or do will change that. Isabella's eyes narrowed. Low life, village girl. You're in the way. Everyone knows it. One way or another, you'll learn your place. Suddenly, a sleek black car rolled silently to the side of the road. Two masked men jumped out. Grace stumbled, heart pounding. Isabella, she cried, stepping back. Before she could react, they grabbed her, dragging her toward the car. She struggled, kicking and screaming, but one man held her tightly while the other opened the door. At the same moment, Ethan, seeing the commotion from his window, ran into the street. Gracie shouted, sprinting toward her. But before he could reach her, two masked men emerged from the shadows and ambushed him. He tried to fight, but they overpowered him and dragged him into a van parked nearby. Inside the moving vehicles, Ethan and Grace were in separate cars, both blindfolded, both terrified. Grace's mind raced, searching for any way to escape, any hint of help. She whispered under her breath, Ethan, hold on. We'll get through this. Meanwhile, Isabella followed calmly, a chilling smirk on her face as she spoke to Grace over the car intercom. This is what happens when you try to steal a life you cannot live. Ethan belongs with me. Soon, you'll understand your place. Ethan's heart pounded as the van lurched over uneven roads. He strained against his restraints, desperately trying to reach for anything to fight back. Panic burned in his chest. He could hear Grace screaming somewhere, and the thought of losing her fueled a surge of adrenaline. Outside, the village streets were eerily quiet, but a few townsfolk glimpsed the black vehicles racing past. Whispers of the air Grace began circulating, adding a layer of tension to the quiet town. In the back of the car, Grace noticed a small, sharp metal piece near her wrist restraint. With trembling fingers, she began working to free herself. Every movement was careful, calculated, her mind racing with escape plans. Ethan, meanwhile, used his strength and wits to loosen his bindings, his rage mixing with fear. Both knew time was running out, and each second of hesitation could cost them dearly. San Isidro's night was no longer peaceful. The daring rescue, the showdown with Isabella, and the final confrontation with Madeline. San Isidro's night had been shattered by fear and chaos. Grace's heart pounded as she struggled against the restraints in the moving car. Across town, Ethan's strength and determination surged as he freed himself from his captors, breaking the van's lock with sheer force and his quick thinking. The vehicles sped along twisting country roads. Grace spotted a small opening, a loosened metal clasp on her restraint. With trembling fingers, she finally freed her hands and began to work at the door latch. At the same time, Ethan, fueled by desperation, overpowered the men holding him, grabbing a metal rod from the van's interior. Gracie shouted, spotting her car. With a daring leap, he managed to smash the window lock. The two vehicles swerved dangerously, tires screeching against gravel. In a blur of courage and adrenaline, Ethan and Grace coordinated silently, dodging the masked men and managing to force the cars to a stop near a deserted road. Together, they fought their way out, finally escaping into the shadows of the nearby woods. Heart racing, mud on their clothes, they held each other tightly. Meanwhile, authorities alerted by villagers who had noticed the suspicious black vehicles intercepted the kidnappers. Isabella, furious and defiant, was arrested on the spot, her plan for Ethan thwarted. Breathing heavily, Ethan turned to Grace, cupping her face in his hands. "I choose you, Grace. Always. No empire, no scheme, no threat can change that." Tears streamed down her cheeks as she whispered, "I love you, Ethan." "I was so afraid." "I know," he said, pulling her into a tight embrace. "But we made it. Together." The next morning, San Isidro streets were buzzing with news of the kidnapping and daring escape. Just then, a familiar deep voice called from a distance. "Enough of this nonsense." Don Alejandro Cole, Ethan's father, had returned from a business trip. His presence commanded attention. He approached the bakery, eyes on Madeline, who had come to check on the aftermath. "Madeline, stop this," he said firmly, his gaze unyielding. "Your schemes, your threats, it ends now." Madeline's face was a mixture of pride and worry. "I came from nothing, Alejandro," she said, voice softening but still firm. "I struggled to build this family's wealth. I cannot let it slip away. That's why I planned Ethan's future with my wealthy friend's daughter, Isabella. She would have secured our legacy." Don Alejandro sighed. "And yet, you almost destroyed what could have been his happiness." Ethan stepped forward, holding Grace's hand. "Father, Grace is not a threat. She is hardworking, honest, and will help build the family, not just the business, but the heart of it. She has grounded me, made me human, and will work with us to grow the empire." Grace, standing tall despite her exhaustion, nodded. "I don't come from wealth, but I will give everything I have to contribute. This bakery, the cacao, our hard work, it's all about building something meaningful together." Madeline looked at her son, and then at Grace, a mixture of reluctance and awe in her eyes. Finally, she nodded, tears glimmering. "I suppose I underestimated her. If she can match Ethan's determination, then perhaps she belongs in our family," Madeline said quietly. Ethan smiled, squeezing Grace's hand. "We'll build it together. Love and hard work can grow any empire." Don Alejandro placed a hand on Madeline's shoulder, a rare gesture of solidarity. "Let the past schemes rest. From now on, family comes first, and that includes love, not just wealth." Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on more amazing stories coming your way.